Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, Prabhat, we can hear you.
Okay, okay. I think the strength is enough, so we can start. All right, Junis, good evening. My name is Sai Prabhat. I'm regional secretary, one of the regional secretaries in WA. Today we have gathered here for an event called Internship Talks. Firstly, internship is a position given to a student or a trainee uh, with the goal to provide her or him experience of the on-field experience in the company. It sometimes it will be paid and sometimes it will not be paid. Mostly we'll be getting internships in all the profiles in our college. When you come to third year, internship will be the only word you'll be hearing almost every day in your college life. Each and every student, irrespective of the profile, they're planning for the future. They'll be applying for interns and trying to bag them. Today, we're going to give you an introduction to what are interviews and how to crack them. We have 6 students, two from each of the profiles, core, hardware, and software. These are the mainstream profiles which contribute to all the profiles in the college. These 6 students are from REEE, and they'll be helping you. They'll be guiding you and giving a presentation on how to crack interviews, how to crack OTs, how to prepare, and all. They'll be taking you through all their journey, how they have prepared. You can ask them questions in the last. So without any delay, let's come into the event. Firstly, it will be Abhijit. He has the backed ITC intern. It is one of the best companies in core sector. Almost every student who will be prepared for core will be trying for that company. And he's one of the first students who have got in our batch who has got an internship in core sector. I'll be giving him the privileges to present his screen. I think it's Meghna. Meghna, can you make it the presenter?
Yeah, okay. I think Abhijit is the presenter.
Okay, Abhijit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm,
okay.
I'm sharing.
He'll be carrying on. Okay, Abhijit, you can carry on.
Hope you guys can see my screen and all. Is it
Yeah,
visible, Prabhat?
yeah, it's visible. It's visible.
Yeah. So, good evening, juniors. Uh, Actually, we had to meet personally in the campus, but no problem. We're meeting like this. So, it's really informal meet. So, you can ask anything, you can pause me anywhere. We are here to answer your questions and be free mostly. It's not an online class wherein I keep on talking and you keep on listening. So, yeah, feel free and you can ask me anything. I am Abhijit. Uh, I am from Triple E third year. I got placed in an internship in ITC company, as Prabhat said just now. So my profile is not only core, but core with data science. So ITC is basically a core company, but based on my interest, based on my CV, uh, ITC, the company officials have also offered me the data science profile too. So every year ITC comes to chemical, triple E, mechanical, and ECE too. But this year ITC only came for chemical, triple E, and mechanical branches. So let's just start with the journey of what's the entire process of you know ITC internship drive. We call this an internship drive. Every company has an internship drive. An internship drive starts with an online test or a kites form in this case. Kites form, what is it? I'll tell the details later. So every internship drive, each company has its own internship drive. An internship drive starts off with an online test and then proceeded with an HR round and a couple of technical interviews round. And all this process is called one drive. So a drive usually lasts from 2 to 3 days, maximum two to 3 days. That's it. So our ITC internship drive started on August 6th. So we had a group discussion round on August 6th and August 6th or August 7th, I guess. Yeah. So August 7th morning, we had a group discussion round. Before the group discussion round, we had a shortlisting on the group discussion round based on the kites form we filled. So what is kites form is there will be 10 questions, which are mainly personal questions. So they'll be asking you your name, place, and date of birth, and your qualifications, college, and your mother and father's occupation, and your long-term and short-term goals. And they'll be asking you a situation wherein there was, you struggled both physically and mentally, and you overcame. So there'll be such personal questions, and you should answer carefully and on point. Because you'll be shortlisted based on your answer given in that form. So this form will be made accessible by the end of July or at the start of August, which is basically the start of internship drive in the college. So companies will be beginning to come to our campus at this stage only, and ITC is one of the starting companies which came to our campus. So we'll be having around 10 days to fill the form, and of course you can fill the form leisurely, but be careful while filling the form. There'll be no online tests. So yeah, so your whole shortlisting criterion is wholly dependent upon this form. 16 members from EEE were selected for the group discussion round, and overall 48 members were selected from 3 branches, 16 from each branch. So this is KITES form. And after the KITES form, as I've mentioned here, after the KITES form, we had a group discussion round, which is also called a HR round. And after the HR round, we had a couple of technical rounds. So what actually group discussion was is, as I've mentioned earlier, 16 members were shortlisted for the group discussion round. And these 16 members were divided into 8 each. So eight members of those 16 were divided into one panel, and the rest 8 were the other panel. So each panel were given a situation. So let me also briefly explain the situation, because as I was informed, the same situation, the same group discussion situation was also given in IIT Madras. So ITC also went for IIT Madras, the same KITES form. They were also given the same KITES form, and they were also given the same group discussion situation itself. So it'll be helpful. You'll have a clear idea of what the company is asking in the group discussion. Right? It will not be any technical questions will not be asked. It is a general situation wherein the exact situation what we were given is there will be a plane crash in the forest of Assam. So I don't know what the forest is. There was a forest name. I totally forgot the name. So there'll be a plane crash, and the pilot, who is very attentive, will call for the rescue team. He'll give signals to the rescue team, and the rescue team is on the way. And the plane has crashed in the middle of a dense forest. So there is no population, or population for around 100 kilometers, and there are 7 survivors. Out of these 7 survivors, one survivor is heavily bleeding. The other is a botanist who knows the flora of Assam forest. The other is a nurse, and the other is a hunter. The other one is a businessman, and the other one is an aristocrat, and something. All the characters were detailedly explained. And what we were asked is to choose a leader, because the group is in a kind of fight now, whether to go towards the population area and get help, or wait for the rescue team. So if you were one of the outside member of the group, whom would you choose as a leader out of these 7 introduced characters? So what exactly the interviewer is looking for in this group discussion is, how confident are you about your opinion? You can, as you can see, this is an open discussion round. Everybody is correct and nobody is wrong. So everybody is correct in their own way, but how confident are you upon your opinion, and how vocal are you? How fluent are you in your language, and what's your stand, and how strongly you stand upon your opinion? After you express your opinion, you'll be asked to debate among yourselves. You will choose one leader, and the other person will choose another leader, and you'll be asked to debate among yourself, saying that you should be able to convince the other person that your leader is the correct leader. So yeah, the body language and the confidence and the vocal skills are very important here, and the way you speak should be able to do it. So 4 students were shortlisted from EEE from this interview, and overall from all the branches, 18 students. I think 8 from mechanical, 6 from chemical, and the other 4 from EEE were shortlisted from the group discussion round. So after the group discussion round, there was a technical interview. Technical interview, we had, I had two members in the panel. Both of them, I think, were totally committed towards recruiting these intern students. They asked me questions, and I'll be going through all of the questions. Most of the questions which were asked to me, and I think most of my fellow students, were what I mentioned in my resume. So one of the important points you should keep in mind is be thorough with your resume and be on point. Don't just randomly select the or you were just involved in the project and not went into it deeply, but don't actually mention those in your resume, because you'll be asked very detailed and deep questions based on that project. My first question was to introduce myself, of course. So I have introduced myself, and I've mentioned a hackathon project which I did in my second year in my resume, which involved building of deep neural networks. So I was asked to take the panel through the project from the start to the end, and what happened, the results, and what was the projects, what exactly is about the project, what were the hurdles we encountered in the project, and how did we cross them, and how did we discuss the problem statement, and so on. So I explained them every bit of detail, and they seemed to be impressed with my detailing, and then moved on to ask me general questions about the technical terms which I used in my project. So be thorough with what you speak, and don't avoid speaking technical terms if you don't really know about them. So the third question was they asked me to differentiate between data science and artificial intelligence, which I did. And I used clustering algorithm and SVM algorithm as a part of my project, and they asked me about it. So as you can see, though ITC is a core company which hires internship for only core people, they actually mainly asked me about data science questions. This is wholly because my resume was filled with data science projects. So the companies are not restricted towards a particular profile. They are open towards hiring any profile if they feel that you are a potential candidate to fill in their role, their specifications. So after then, this is I think the most popular question in any company, that there will be some company specific questions about why do you choose only this company, why do you choose only our company to to proceed, do your internship. So yeah, I think that you should be prepared to answer this question. And out of the 6 members who were shortlisted previously from the group discussion round, 2 members from this interview for first technical round were shortlisted to the final round. And overall, from the 18 members, 6 members were shortlisted, 2 from each branch, 2 from mechanical, 2 from chemical, and 2 from EEE. So after this round, the group discussion round, which I've mentioned just now, was conducted in around morning 9 a.m. on August 7th. So this was at morning 9 a.m. on August 7th, and this first technical interview was done on 10 p.m. on the same day. So the days will be quite hectic in third year. It will be the same till you get placed in an internship. So you should be patient and bear with the company. So this was done on 10 p.m. and the results were announced on 11 p.m. and we were given time around 12 a.m. on the midnight 12 a.m. that you'll be having the second technical interview round on 7 p.m. The next day, that is August 8th. So, as you can see, it is very, very hectic, and, you should bear with it, in order to get placed. I think That's the bare minimum we should be able to bear. So in this round consisted of 2 members in the panel too, the second technical and the final round. These 2 people, were employees in the ITC company from 20 plus years. They were very experienced. One of them were 50 plus years. They were very experienced, officials, and regional heads were there too. So many experienced person will be there. So I actually got a little bit panicked to see them. So, but I somehow managed to answer their questions. So, in this round, questions related to your engineering knowledge and mainly emotional intelligence were tested. So, as I go through the questions, I think you'll be able to get an idea of what the questions were. Obviously, the first question will be, we should be introducing yourself to the panels, and the second question was very interesting. There are many companies which are working completely wholly on data science projects. Like there are software companies which dedicate their services to data science projects. So why did you choose a core company like ITC? So this is where my background work, I did a background research on ITC before attending this interview. This is where it helped me a lot. So I went through the ITC webpage. I Googled about ITC. I checked about what all projects ITC is undertaking and wherein the data science, help can be taken. And I've mentioned the same. ITC is taking these kind of projects, and ITC has this diverse variety of products in the market. So data science is very helpful to enhance these products and these projects, and hence, in order to apply my core knowledge in the data science domain, I've chosen this company. So I was able to answer this question only because I did my groundwork on the company. So to answer such company specific questions, I also recommend you to go through the company, what is it doing and what are the company norms, and what all projects the company is taking up, and get familiarized with the company so that you'll be able to answer such questions. And the third, fourth, and fifth questions were completely related to core questions, and the fourth question was a basic electronics engineering question. And corona loss is a concept in Power Systems 1. You'll be reading about it in your fourth semester. And fourth and fifth, I think you've already learned about it in your first year. And the sixth question, which I've also mentioned in your kites form, this question was also asked in our kites form. The same question was asked in this technical interview. That what is your toughest situation in your campus which you overcame? This question is mainly, they test your emotional intelligence and how is your problem solving skills, and how well are you able to tackle your problems, and they'll also assess your leadership skills based on your answer. And finally, they'll ask you whether you have any questions to the panel. Actually, it doesn't matter whether you ask any questions to the panel or not. Better if you ask any questions. It gives them a good impression. So these are some of the tips which I would like to give. There are 3 factors which play a role in internship placement: CGPA, your CGPA, your projects or your resume, resume skill set, and your communication skills. All these 3 matter equally. You can't say that you can have one thing and you can throw away the rest of the rest of the 2 things, and care only about one thing. So all these things should have to be in right proportions for you to get placed. So as I've already said, some of the questions will be asked based on your answer to the previous question. So avoid using any terms which you don't know in detail. And of course, your confidence, your ability to show your strengths, and you should show them that you're making efforts, you're trying your level best to overcome your weakness, and that you're adjustable to the company you bring something to the table to the company, so that they'll be able to believe in you, and you get selected. So these are some of the tips which I'd like to give you. And what I thought that it would have been slightly better had I known this in second year is, everything you do starting from your first year matters when it comes to internship. There's nothing like that, after your second year, you can rigorously study in your summer break and crack the, internship interview. You should be able to start building your skill set right from the first day of your college. I'm not asking you to, keep sharpening your skill set every day of your college. It is not even possible. Even I know that. But don't be in a false impression that only 2 to 3 months of preparation before internships will suffice the interview. No, it's not the situation. You should be engaged in some or the other activity throughout the year, which helps you a lot, which it actually helps you in long term. And yeah, and this should do it. After all this, yeah, I was selected as data science and core intern. We did not get the offer letter actually. We'll get the offer letter in February or March, after ITC had gone through every campus in the country, and we'll be given the offer letter at a time to all the students all over the India. So yeah, any questions? So this is my contact number and this is my email ID. You can contact me anytime. I'm very happy to answer all your questions, and any questions are welcome.
Look at the chat box, Abhijit.
Yeah.
Guys, if you are shy to talk or something, you can type in the chat box. He'll answer them.
I'll stop sharing my screen and try to answer your questions. So yeah, Krishnavamsi, why ITC means, as I mentioned, I had a resume which was more inclined towards data science projects. So the ITC is a core company, so obviously they'll ask a question about why ITC and why not go for a data science company which offers data science roles. So I was not able to. I decided not to give up my core knowledge entirely, because I was able to studying my I am studying my electrical engineering for 4 years, and giving it up completely, I thought it was waste of my time and energy. So I thought I should be able to do something which involves both my core knowledge and my interest, which is data science. And given ITC, wherein it has huge number of products, from eatables to it is also invested in IT and finance and large other sectors. Given the whole diverse factors in which ITC has invested, I thought ITC is a very good company for me to do my internship, wherein I can blend my core knowledge and my uh, data science knowledge. So this was my answer to the interview panel when they asked me why only ITC, why not other data science companies, or why not other core companies. Soft skills, Akshat, I think you should be able to. I didn't actually work anything specifically towards nourishing my soft skills. You should be able to talk, right? I'll not say that you should be a vocal from the beginning. I think it's a skill which you should be able to develop through the time. That is where the associations like this and the clubs wherein we'll have in our college, I think they help. Participating in events like this and talking in events like this, you'll be able to develop your soft skills. Yeah, I think I answered your question, Akshat. And Guru Maheshwar Reddy, what are the other companies that blend of ML and core companies? I think there are a very few companies, Guru, to blend ML and core companies. And ITC also, I think this is I think last year they didn't select a candidate wherein they offered a data science and core profile. I think this is actually a very rare case that they selected a core profile and a data science profile together. So I think fixing, dedicating your time towards one profile should be able to do it. In in some words, I should say I am lucky that I was selected because many companies just reject me because many core companies really actually reject such profiles because it is not at all dedicated towards the core company, but it is a blend of ML and data science. So if your target is to uh, score in companies wherein you have a blend between ML and core, I think ITC is a perfect company for you. Minimum CGPA, I think, was not mentioned. They actually shortlisted they asked us the CGPA in the kites form itself. So they had a minimum CGPA cutoff internally, and they shortlisted based on their internal CGPA cutoff. So bare minimum, to be on the safe side, 7.5 should do, but to be on the safe side, 8 is more than enough. 8 CGPA is more than enough. Core companies at our campus, there are I should say many, not many, compared to software. There are lesser core companies, but there are enough number of opportunities for you to bag your core intern opportunity, given that you have enough skill set. Adarsh Kumar. Um, how Adya, how do we get to know that a company is taking interns? Yeah, that that you don't need to worry. There is a separate cell called TAPS, a training and placement cell, which is working towards coordinating between company and the students. There are internship coordinators, which are who are our fourth year students, who are our seniors. They'll be coordinating between the company, and there is also an internship coordinator in our campus who is a professor. They'll take care of all the process, and we'll be informed through our mail and through our WhatsApp. I think they're also working on a website which should be able to come in working very soon. So Adya, there is no need to worry about that. Our campus has enough uh, enough sophistication to do that. Yeah. Shravamsi, do you follow any particular schedule or timetable? No, bro. I did not follow any particular timetable, and to be honest, I think the whole June, I saw Game of Thrones in the June, so June whole June, June मतलब नेच पे the Game of Thrones you see. So there was no particular schedule or timetable which I kept in that I should study like this and there is a particular company coming in. So you should be able to go randomly with the flow, and spontaneity is what matters. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be sending my phone number. I'll be giving it in the chat box, Surya. This is my phone number. You can contact me anytime. Uh, Hi Rishi, I will instruct about the core my experience only. There are other 5 members who were placed in core internship, core software and hardware also. They'll be going through their journey, and you can ask them your questions if you are interested in any of those profiles. Yeah, actually, data science really helped me. Data science was actually my majority of my weight. My core knowledge is what I learned academically. That's it. I did not go out of my way, out of my academics to prepare anything regarding my core subject. So what I did everything related to data science, and data science is what made me placed into ITC. I did try off-campus internship in Google, but I got rejected. I did not get selected. Mr. Vamsi.
Okay, Abhijit, I think it's taking too long. If there are any questions related to core, we can just ask them to ask in the last. Is it all right?
Yeah. You can continue. I'll pass on my sharing skills to.
Yeah, that will.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is Meghana. She got an intern in Bajaj, core and manufacturing profile, R&D role. This is also another famous core company. Meghana, you can start sharing your screen.
Yeah, sure.
Meghana,
So, hi guys.
are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm able to.
Yeah. Continue.
Hi guys, I'm Meghna from Tripoli third year. So, I recently got an intern at Bajaj, which I'll be sharing my experience here. So, Bajaj internship drive consists of 4 parts. This year it consisted of 4 parts. First one is the online test, and second one is the psychometric test, and third is the technical round, and the last one is the HR round. So, Bajaj is a completely core profile, which is a core and manufacturing, where you get 2 roles: manufacturing and R&D role. And criteria for applying for this is there's a CGPA cutoff of 7.5, and you should not be having any backlogs, like no active or passive backlogs. And branches eligible are triple and mechanical. It comes for 2 branches, which is triple and mechanical. So the first part consists of online test, which in online test you'll be given 4 sections: verbal and mental ability questions, English and aptitude, and technical questions. This year they asked this year the technical questions, totally there are for 90 questions, out of which 45 were technical. The other 45 questions were divided. Like English were given 5 questions, general aptitude 22, and verbal ability, verbal and mental 18 questions. So basically, here you have to focus upon aptitude and mental ability more, because technical questions, some might be coming from your syllabus and some are out of your syllabus, like they'll be covered up later. So you have to attempt the questions which you know, and the most scoring or most which benefits you most is the aptitude and verbal part. So you have to uh, be more efficient, and more you have to do more practice upon it on the mental. And after online test was given on September 1st, and some people got shortlisted, and they got a psychometric test link. Only the people who got shortlisted were given the link. And this test was generally a opinion on how you have to work or how you behave, a completely perspective of how you are. So they have given 2 options, like 2 different perspectives were given. In a work environment, would you like to mingle with others or would you like to work on your own? So on which part do you agree more? You have to select one, and how much percent do you agree with it? Sometimes there are both negative options, but you have to choose one and you have to move it. There is no time limit for this, and I think 100 questions were given, 100 behavioral questions. And the shortlist, 6 members got shortlisted of the applied. And the technical round was held on September 4th. Technical round was completely based upon the technical questions and your subject questions. There's nothing behavior or there's nothing personal and nothing. And this is a 20 minutes interview. And all the questions which were asked were from your syllabus, from the topics which were covered for you till the second year. Even if they ask you a question which is related to third year or beyond that, you can say you haven't covered the topic yet, or you can say that if you have a knowledge on it, you can speak about it. So basically, in this interview, I was mostly asked upon electrical machines subject, which is a second sem subject in your second year, mostly upon the transformers and their efficiencies and how does it work and all kinds of things. And I also, in my resume, I mentioned that I've attended a training on machine learning and artificial intelligence. So the interviewer also asked me questions about machine learning, like what have you done in machine learning? So what is the basic difference between a coding part and artificial intelligence? And how do you define accuracy of a certain path and everything? Most probably they'll ask you your projects. You have to explain your project neatly from the beginning, and they'll ask you questions upon it. So while giving a project, you have to keep in mind that you know every bit of the project, and they might also ask you like, if you could modify the project and shortcut it, how would you do it, and what, and are there any ideas apart from this? So mostly my interview was based upon electrical machines, power systems, and circuit theory, which will be covered until your second year. And out of the 6 people who got qualified, 2 members got shortlisted for the HR round. And this HR round was totally personality based questions. Like first they asked me, tell me about yourself. And they asked me, could you handle pressure? In how way could you explain that you can handle pressure? And they also asked me about why don't you join this company after completing your MTech? It will be more beneficial and you can know more about. And they also asked like, is it okay for you to work in the manufacturing role also? Or is there any certain specification you have to work in this only? What interests you to work in this company? And the main point is generally they don't ask, but in this HR round they asked me some general knowledge questions like who is the defense minister of India, who is the finance minister, and who's the vice president, questions like that. And finally, general questions, all like how all the companies ask, and why do you want to work in this company, and what do you expect from the company, and what do you want to learn from the company. All the questions were this only in the HR round. And one student, I got selected for the intern. So while preparing, tips on preparation. So for aptitude, visit IndiaBix. IndiaBix is a good site and it helps you get more knowledge on aptitude. And I think for Bajaj aptitude, IndiaBix is the best. And you can also refer other online sites consisting of aptitude tests and everything. And for technical electrical machines and all, you have to refer your textbooks, and you also make sure you listen the classes because it helps you a lot. And there will be asking small basic questions like why is the transformer rating mentioned in kVA? Why not in other? So basic questions. They even asked me what is the difference between a conductor and insulator. So why is it called a conductor and why is it called an insulator? So basic questions will also be asked, and hectic questions or difficult questions may also be asked. So make sure you have a clear idea on all of it, and have an idea on analog and digital electronics, because for some of my friends they asked on the electronics part also. For me, they did not touch it. Speaking of the books which you can refer for core part and is electrical machines, you can refer P.S. Bimra, which is a very good book, and you can know all the points. Or your teacher lecture notes is also sufficient. And for power systems, I referred C.L. Wadhwa and V.K. Mehta. Electronics, since it is a basic part, NISO Academy videos, I refer them. And make sure you solve online questions for hardware and electronics part, because it helps you in the online tests of other companies which come for hardware, or in some core companies also they ask hardware questions. So it helps you a lot. Try solving questions from IndiaBix. And circuit analysis, I think my class, I've written notes on circuit analysis during my second year. It was more than enough. Coming to the tips which I can give is try to maintain a good CGPA. Mostly they don't focus on, but they'll ask you. Like they ask me like, you're having a good CGPA, why don't you do your MTech and join later? And focus on the aptitude questions in your OT. uh, it is not a compulsion that you have to work on a project or you have to keep a project in your resume, but keeping a project means you can speak about something which you know. And you can also speak more about, we can extend it in this way or we can try it in this way. It will be like you will be dragging the interview more than they are asking the interview. And if you don't know, or if you are a bit, if you don't know the correct answer, also answer it confidently. If they say it's a wrong answer, you say it's sorry and move on to the next question, or like that. And my advice is that for your core subjects, try keeping a short notes, because at the last it'll help you a lot. You can refer to it very fast and you can go through it. It helps you a lot in your interview. Speaking about the company, generally, Bajaj also asked me, what can you do more? Like in electrical vehicle, we can also introduce electrical vehicles, which already they have done one, Chetak. But on what ways can you improve, or what are the ideas you may suggest? They may ask you these questions also. So be prepared and go through the websites about Bajaj company and know the whole about it, so that you can ask the questions. And the last one was, if there are any questions, so you can ask some questions like, what is the next idea upcoming, or idea like that, and you can move on. And I think that's it from my side. Um, okay. Mostly speaking of Bajaj, it's a core company, and that's it. If you have any questions, it's you can ask or pass on to the next. So speaking of your projects, you generally, college conducts workshops like Arduino workshops or Verilog workshops. Take a part in it and get. You can also consult your seniors on what projects, what kind of projects you can do, and how can you improvise it. And you can also visit online sites also regarding the projects on which you can do. Are any core projects are required? It isn't compulsory to mention a core project, but if mentioned, it will be helpful for you because you can speak about it. In this online, we are not doing any lab. No, nothing about labs will be asked. There'll be the total interview will be on the theory part and how can you modify it, or how does it work, and the basic things involved in it. What did you answer for the MTech question? I said that it is a nice opportunity to do MTech and then join. But also for now, I have an idea of joining the company after doing my BTech. I have no idea of doing an MTech right now. I answered it that way. You answered the question of doing MTech and then join. Yeah, that's it. I answered like, for now, my interest is to join my core company and work. I did not think about MTech, about joining MTech or doing MTech. So I think that's it. Okay then.
Yeah, I think
Prabhat,
that's it, Meghna. Yeah. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, guys, next up is a software profile. First one will be Rajat Sharma. He got an intern at Amazon. You know how big the company is. I think this will be interesting. Okay, Rajat, I think you got the screening right.
Just a sec.
Okay, okay, yeah. You can start.
Screen is visible.
Yes, Rajat, it's visible.
Okay. So yeah. So hello guys. I hope you all are doing good. Myself Rajat. I'm from third year Triple E, and today I'm going to share my interview experience that we all faced during the last month. So I'm going to talk about Amazon as I was selected for software developer engineer intern at Amazon. So Amazon was I guess 12th or 13th company that visited our campus for a software profile. So the criteria that Amazon plays were the branches Amazon allowed were CSE, EC, and Triple E from BTech, and the same from MTech plus MCA. The CGPA cutoff for Amazon was pretty much low as compared to other companies that visited our campus. That was 6.5 and no active backlogs. Interesting fact is that this time Amazon opted a different way for internship. Like the process that they followed this time is not a usual one. They had only 2 rounds, uh, and all over India it was the same process. One was coding test, and there was only single technical round. As usual, there are 2 to 3 rounds and one HR round for other companies, but for Amazon, they had only one technical round and one coding test. So while filling the form, you were given 4 options for work locations: Hyderabad, Noida, Mumbai, and Chennai. From that, we have to give us sale-wise preference of top 3 that we wish. So moving ahead, discussing about online coding test round 1. This was round 1. It was held on AMCAT platform.
Rajat, 1 minute. I think it's not audible. There are messages in the text box that you're not audible. Can you speak a little louder?
Oh, just a second. Is it audible now?
I hope so. Continue. Not a bit
Okay,
louder.
okay. So talking about round 1, it was held on AMCAT platform. It is the platform of Amazon where it conducts its online test. It was the biggest test till now for an online test for the companies that I visited, which was 150 minutes for software profile only. So it consists of majorly 4 sections: general aptitude, code debugging, coding questions. There were 2 coding questions that we have to code, and a 4th section, which is special one for Amazon, is behavioral questions. Like Amazon is very much specific about this section. And at the end, there was a feedback part. Without completing that, your test is not considered for evaluation. That is very much important. And the feedback is about how was the test, how was the platform, and general questions. So discussing about first part, the general aptitude, there were, I guess, 25 questions or 24 questions, and 35 minutes we were having. The questions were pretty much easier. Like if you know basic maths till 10th or 12th, you will be able to crack that. You can also use IndiaBix. It was like time work related questions and geometry, these type of. Second was code debugging. Like having a DSA in your syllabus, this section you will not face any problem for Amazon. This I can sure. There were 10 questions, and the section was for 30 minutes as I guess 30 or 40 minutes. And the questions were pretty much easier, but lengthier. If you read the question and you understand it in a single go, that's the best part. You can solve it. I was able to do this question within 12 to 15 minutes. There were 10 debugging questions and it was very much easy. Debugging part. Moving next to coding questions. There were 2 coding questions as usual, and I guess we had 60 minutes or 90 minutes. I don't remember actually. So 2 questions were there, and one thing I want to tell you specifically for companies like Microsoft and Amazon, there is a trend that they follow. They usually ask standard questions. The questions that Microsoft and Amazon ask will not be any kind of CP. And one more thing, don't spread it anywhere. It is observed that all over India, these companies ask similar questions. Like if you have any friend in different colleges, you can take help from them. Definitely, it will be very much beneficial. Not exactly same I'm saying, but the question pattern will match because these don't go beyond your standard question. If you are studying trees, they will be giving tree question as it is without doing much variation. They will not go for CP or any complex question like advanced DSA. They don't ask. So moving on next slide, we have the second round was technical and interview. This was the final round. And for my case, my interviewer was a very much senior person. He was more than 7 years in the Amazon and he was a pretty much high position. So for the interview, we started with our introduction, but he was not at all interested for the introduction and all stuff. Barely he spent 5 minutes for the introduction part and he moved directly to DSA. The interview was held on Amazon Kime platform, and you would be shared a coding platform link where you have to code whatever the questions you are given. So this was the final round. For the first round OT from our campus, 48 students were selected for the second round. There were 14 panels which conducted the students of interview of 48 students, and 2 questions were asked in the interview. Usually it depends on how you discuss. If you tell your approaches too fast, there can be 3. If you take too much time, there can be 1. It depends totally upon you. But on an average, it is usually 2 for most of the cases. So the questions, if I talk about the questions were pretty much good. The questions that they asked, for me at least, they were not direct questions. But what the approach I followed is, there was a big question. I break down into certain parts, and then I was pretty much sure. I confidently said him, sir, that I will do this. That part I will complete to reach the complete solution. And he at every point he used me to tell me. He used me to that he say me, you tell me your approach, what you are thinking. And as soon as I tell him, he always say me to code it, that code whatever you have to do. So whatever I said, I had to code. So there were 2 questions. The discussion of first question took around 35 minutes for me. It was a question based on I don't remember, something like searching question was there. And it took 35-minute discussion. And at the end of that, the interviewer was satisfied with my approach, the code, whatever I have done. So then he moved to next question. The next question, the question was based on dynamic programming. Similar to that, it is a typical question of buying and selling of stock. When you will come across this question, but it was not the question which you have. It was a complete modification of that, but given the same name. So that was based on stacks, queues, and a pretty much good implementation that took me rest of the time for my interview. My interview lasted for 1 hour and 15 minutes. As usual, the interviewer used to ask that, do you have any questions or something? But my interview was not interested in any kind of this thing. At the end, when the discussion was completed for the questions, he told me that okay. He just asked me, "Do you have any other interviews, or do you are giving interviews for any other company?" So I refused that this is my only interview I'm giving, and then my interview over. He did not said me to ask me any further questions or like something HR type. This was completely technical questions. The technical question, what this can be the reason because the fourth part that I was discussing in the OT, it consists of a lot of questions that were based on behavior or HR thing. Like, we'll discuss it further. So for preparation, what did I followed? See, what the best thing we have is we have DSA in our curriculum, and the DSA that we are studying, that you people are studying in your 2-1, is completely based on pointers. Majorly based on pointers. You in the examination you are told that you are not supposed to use STL libraries or things to solve the question. You have to completely build the question. So that's the best part you can learn, because believe me, 2-1 is the last semester till now that I have used pointers, and try your best to learn pointers at that time, because this concept will very much useful, but you will not do it after 2-1. Also, one thing I want to tell this for Triple E, like this is what we faced during our 2-1. The concept that we are told, we had complete syllabus of DSA that is required, but we will not be moving in that much depth of the topic. Like, we will be giving a general introduction of each and every topic, but not that much deep as the CSE people are going. So this is the point where you have to put your effort. You have to get in-depth knowledge of each and every topic, because basic DSA, each and every topic is very much important. You must be aware of each and every topic. You must be thorough with each and every topic. You must have solved at least 50 questions, and 50 does not mean that too much easy question you look and you get the answer. It means good questions of good level. Okay, so for sites, I've used Geeks for Geeks, LeetCode I use a lot, InterviewBit, and HackerRank. So when it comes to DSA, everyone says that go and do Geeks for Geeks, go and do Geeks for Geeks. It doesn't work like that, because if you go to the Geeks for Geeks is an ocean of DSA. Like, if you simply go there and type trees, there will be there will be more than 500 topics or questions that there are on trees. See, and if you start doing that, believe me, in one semester you will not be able to complete even 2 topics. So you have to learn how to use Geeks for Geeks. That is the best source, no doubt, but you have to learn how to use that efficiently. Second thing what I used is LeetCode. LeetCode is the best platform to use to learn and practice DSA. There is no theory material given. There are only questions, but the questions are completely DSA based. InterviewBit is a, you can say, mini LeetCode, and it is advised to use InterviewBit during your summer break as a revision. It consists of all the standard questions of the topic of each and every topic of DSA, and completely standard question. So it is very much advised for you to use InterviewBit for your summer revision. Don't do InterviewBit now. If you do, there is no problem, but it is advised to do in your summer break. Start as your summer break. There are around 200 to 250 questions that are based on DSA, and you can complete that complete site in 1 month, maximum 1 month. For GFG, there are certain partitions of the questions that must do coding questions are there, which consists of same as InterviewBit, standard questions of each and every topic, company-wise questions, and frequently asked questions, and previous year experiences. Previous year experiences is the thing that you will be using the most as your intern drive starts. It helps a lot, believe me. you will be getting interview experience just 2 days before it held on some other campus. So everyone goes through it and it is very much useful. Must do coding questions are also advised to complete. For appearing for software developer profile, as you are EEE students, you have to study 2 subjects out of your course. These are, first is OOPS, object oriented programming and systems. Then second is database management systems. So that you have to completely do it by your own, or the best part you can do is you can cope up with CSE classes, but it's difficult to manage CSE and EEE classes together. So there are good sources. Java Tea Point is a website that is best advice for studying OOPS. Like it does not have any video tutorials. The text material is available there. You can go and you can study. Since you are not a CSE student, the CSE people are taught OOPS in Java language. Okay, so you are free to choose language of your own. If you are doing with Python, you can go with Python. If you are doing with C++, you can go with C++. But Java is advised because OOPS is very much comfortable. Doing OOPS is very much comfortable in Java. Second is Saurabh Shukla. These are the tutorials available on YouTube for OOPS in Hindi. But yeah, that's pretty much good. To tell you complete knowledge of OOPS. GFG and W3 schools also contain written material for OOPS. Like everything on most of the sites, you will feel safe. But on Java Tea Point, it is very well categorized. Moving next, we have database management system. Since we are not having this, the best platform to do this is Sanchit Jain. Everyone will recommend you. There are around 109 videos on YouTube. Completely do it. You will not require any other thing for DBMS. That's a complete course, and it's not like it's completely free. The second website similar to it is Gate Smashers. It is also there on YouTube. You can follow that, but for my personally, I followed Sanchit Jain. Even all my friends followed Sanchit Jain. Like similarly for OOPS, we have W3 schools also. If someone wants to read, W3 schools have reading material for OOPS. Talking about competitive programming, we'll talk in deep for CP in the next slide. But for the sites where you can practice competitive programming is CodeChef, Codeforces, AtCoder. Codeforces is preferred much as compared to CodeChef and AtCoder. And there is a reason you'll know after some time when you start doing that. So moving on to resources and tips. The resources, see, we have DSA. You will be given brief about each and every topic, but as I said, you have to go in depth for each and every topic. Plus, there are some topics that are not discussed in DSA. Like for CSE peeps, in the second semester, they have a subject called Design and Analysis of Algorithms. There, the people got to study DP, but you are not taught DP in the DSA. So you have to DP dynamic programming by your own. And it's totally your choice where you prefer DP. What I suggest is Aditya Verma is one of the best tutorials for DP. Like he explains crystal clear concepts, you will be able to understand completely all the standard topics and all the standard questions that are there in DP. Aditya Verma discusses. Similarly, Tushar Roy is there for DP. If you want to go more, there are lectures of Stanford University. Professor is there from Stanford University. His lectures on DP are also there. That is pretty much good. Talking about Code and Code, Code and Code is a YouTube channel that is pretty much good for its graph playlists. See, if you will not be going in much depth in your DSA, so follow Code and Code if you want. This is pretty much good for graphs, and there are also advanced DSA topics. You can do segment trees. Bit masking is also there. big masking is good, and number theory is also there. We have next is we also have Abdul Bari. Abdul Bari is a very good place for algorithms. If you face any difficulty in any algorithm, you go to Abdul Bari. He has his videos and explanation for almost all the algorithms that you are going to study, whether it be basic or advanced. You will not be using all these algorithms. There are 70 to 80 videos. You don't require all of them. Just go and study whichever name algorithm you come across. And the next is CP algorithms. It is a site majorly preferred for competitive programming. It consists means explanation code part of each and every algorithm. Apart from these, there are certain channels, like these are the sources I talked about, contain study material. There are some channels also that provides you a structured order that how to proceed for a particular subject. Like if I name them, that is Love Babbar is there, Nishan Chahar is there, and majorly I remember though. So you can follow them. For lead code, as I said, attempt regular contest on DSA, but the time to start is as your 2-1 gets completed, you start doing lead code regularly. There is a contest on every Sunday and every second Saturday. Without miss, attempt each and every contest. That will be the best way you can prepare for your DSA, because you have completed the DSA in your first semester. You are you are thorough with each and every topic. Start doing lead code. If you want competitive programming, you can go for CodeChef and Codeforces. It is you can go for CP, but I will not prefer CP because CP helps you to get a good grip on time, solving within time and developing different approaches. But in interview, you mostly require DSA. CP is not at all the thing that you will face. As I said, interview bit, you have to do interview bit in your summer. You will be getting a holiday break of 70 to 80 days. Utilize that to maximum extent, completely solve interview bit, each and every questions. It will be very much beneficial for you. And while the time you study OOPS and DBMS, prefer that you start studying OOPS in your second semester. As your second semester start, DBMS you can study in your summer breaks. You can easily complete that in that time. Make your handwritten notes. Like you will get notes of these topics, but your handwritten notes will be very much useful at the time of revision when for your intern drive. Talking about CGPA, everyone says that 7 is the CGPA which makes you eligible for sitting in a company. Guys, having 7 CGPA does not mean that you are selected. What happens is in the drive, if a company comes, you have an OT for a company, and everyone is able to solve that questions given within a good time limit, then it is expected that the company will be using CGPA criteria for getting shortlist. And most of the companies do this. I said most of the companies. Okay. If you will also face some companies which have their CGPA cutoff of 8. So it is good to have CGPA above 7.5. Talking about projects, for interns, projects are not the part which is focused on, but having some projects, it will have an edge. I had 3 projects in my resume. 2 of them are web dev projects, and one was hackathon, a kind of hackathon that is held in our college every year by IG. So participate in such things. It will be very much useful. For HR round, luckily I don't have had HR round for my company, but usually each and every company have HR round. So you can use GFG for these. GFG contains a pretty much good database for HR questions, company wise also, and what are general HR questions. So you can use them. Talking about CP that I left, CP competitive programming people used to do. What I suggest is learn DSA in 2-1 completely. Don't focus on CP, because DSA is the most important thing which will be helping you. CP is not at all required for internship. Believe me, no one is going to ask you CP except 1 or 2 companies. Doing CP is not a bad thing. I'll suggest you start doing CP or giving contest in your 2-2 as your 2-2 starts or after your mid semester of second year, second semester. So that's a good time to start computer programming. Don't go for CP in your 2-1. Just focus on DSA. Dynamic programming, if you talk about dynamic programming, you will not be taught dynamic programming in your DSA. You have to do dynamic programming, and it's a very much important topic. So start doing just after your summer, just after your break, sem break for first semester. So this is what I was having to share. If you have any questions, you can ask me. This is my contact number and email. If you feel free to contact me anytime. I'll be there for helping you. Let me stop sharing. So do you have any questions? Guys, feel free to ask. I tell you one thing. The questions you will be facing so much of questions in your summer break. Like you will be having so much of question how to do this, how this will happen, what will happen for this. But I tell you one thing, most of your seniors will be having their internship in that summer time. So rarely they will be available to helping you. So it is better to clarify each and every of your doubt before the summer vacations. Feel free to ask any kind of question. Let me check chat box. Jitesh, web dev and app dev, what is better to learn? It completely depends on your preference. Like, I don't have any experience about web development. I am a person who is doing web development, but yeah, if you are interested in any of them, go for it. Both have equal importance. For my number, okay, let me type in chat box. Krishna Vamsi, DSA important for ML? No. DSA and ML are two different things. ML is completely different from DSA. You don't even require a single topic of DSA for ML. Okay. Any other question? Or should I forward it to Parth? Okay. Yeah, ML means machine learning. Machine learning is a completely different field. It is not related to your DSA.
Yeah, Rajat, we can have the questions in the chat box. You can type out the answers. Meanwhile, we can go with the next presentation.
Okay, just the last question I have.
Yeah, sure.
Is 6 month time frame enough to get that intern? Dude, there is a saying that you prepare for your summer break, you will easily able to get software interns. Believe me, there are some people who did the same thing and are still waiting for internships. So it is advised you start it from your 2-1. Focus on your DSA that is taught to you. Use your 2-2 to study the topics beyond the scope of your course. That will be very much for getting an intern in a good company. I hope you got your answer. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Let's move on. Parth, it will be Parth Chowdhury next coming. We got an intern in Oracle. It's also one of the most famous software companies coming to our college. Parth, have you got the sharing rights?
Hello, is it visible?
Yes, Parth, it's visible.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. This is Parth, and I've been selected for summer intern at Oracle. So obviously, it feels amazing to be part of such a prestigious company. And Oracle is third leading software company. So it really feels amazing, and even you all will feel it if you are dedicated and if you really do what is necessary. So let's just jump to what I did for Oracle. Um, there were two profiles that Oracle came up with. So there were application development and server technology, and the eligible branches were for application development. All branches were allowed except biotech, and for server tech, CSE, ECE, and EEE were allowed. The process was quite standard typical software intern process. It comprised of online test, two technical interviews, and one HR interview. There were also work locations that were mentioned, but right now we don't really know what locations will be assigned. So let's just move to the intern process. So the online test, so it was completely objective. It was a 2 hours online test, and it was completely objective. There were no programming questions. So I didn't program any code. The test comprised of like 4 sections. It was language, data structure, AVL tree, data structure which comprised of AVL tree and binary tree only. And there was logical reasoning and CS subjects. So we are engineers, so I guess we all have been gone through these competitive exams like NTSC and many more. So I think we all are aware of mental ability, and we have been through this subject, and we are pretty good at it. That is what I assume. But even if you want to learn these subject, or study, make it more, if you want to be good in it, then you can go through GFG. GFG is a complete package, like it has everything. So GFG has right from web development, even many projects are available, DSA and everything it comprises of. So you need not worry about searching for things. You can always go through GFG. Also for language, uh, it completely depends. Like you don't really have to prepare for language. They are pretty much grammar and passage reading type questions. So there is a passage that is given, and you are supposed to write answers for by reading the passage, synonyms, antonyms, and stuff like that. And in the data, there was the second section, which was data structure and algorithm. So it just had only two topics, which was AVL tree and binary tree. So I did a background check on this company, and I read it in the GFG archives. So GFG archives is a place where you can find the previous intern records, where many students have shared their experiences. So you can really know it from there, like what is the actual process of the internships. And I saw there that in almost all the online tests, AVL tree and binary tree were the most asked questions. So it wasn't like implementation. It was basic MCQ question, though they were quite lengthy. But once you read it, you were able to understand, and they were pretty easy but lengthy. Yeah, that is what I would say. And there were also CS subjects. There was fourth section, the last section, which comprised of CS subjects. This is third sem, right? So you should mostly focus on data structure. That is what I would say, because CS subjects is something that even a CSE student don't study right now. They have it in the next semesters. So you can always do it afterwards. Like you will get pretty much a lot of time. So right now you should focus on data structures. Now after this round, about 100 students were selected from almost like many of the branches, mostly from the circuit branch, though they said that in the previous slide, as I showed that biotech was only biotech, except all the branches were there. Only biotech was not, but mostly they are selected from the circuit branches only. And so about 100 students were selected, shortlisted for the next round. The next round, so it was quite weird that some of the students had 2 rounds, whereas other students have 3 rounds. So for me, it was just 2 rounds. So there was first round, first interview, which was completely technical. I was asked about I wasn't even asked to introduce myself. The interviewer directly he asked me about basic programming language concepts like memory allocation and stuff like that. And there were 2 programming questions that he asked me to code on an ID. So even they were very easy questions. Even without having a lot of knowledge, anyone can do these questions. So, but I wouldn't say that you should be like this. Like, you shouldn't consider a single experience. You should take experience from everyone, and that is what you know. You cannot just say that if I prepare a little bit, then my luck will help me, because I don't see anyone who has like not put efforts. Like it's always collective efforts right from the start that help you get an intern. So I have these many friends who don't really, they're asking me right now, what should I do and what not. So you shouldn't start late. This is the time, you have a lot of time, and you should start with everything that is, and start exploring about things. Okay, exploring is really important for you right now. Try to find a topic like web development and or like any well, web development is what I did, but there are a lot many topics: web development, AI, ML, and DBMS. So try to find some topic and try to do at least one standard project which you will be able to explain, understand, try to explain it to your interviewer. So because this will always help you to build your resume. So the first interview, so there were 2 questions: sorting algorithm and reversing the integer. They were quite easy, and it was about a 40-minute interview. So it went very well. I was quite interactive. So uh, interaction is what is important. If there is a point in the interview where there is this silence and no one is talking, like the interviewer is not asking the question and you're not responding, so that creates a bad impression. So never never have this never try to have this silence in the interview. Always try to be interactive and expressive. Okay, so after this I don't quite remember how many students were selected, but in the second interview, it was technical plus HR. So I was in technical. They were my resume were examined. So whatever I wrote on my resume, everything was asked, and some basic DBMS questions were asked, and there was detailed discussion about project. In fact, I would say that it was due to my project that I was selected. Uh, as the profile in which I had applied was application development profile. So, and I did my project in web development. So I could relate to things, and I could convince the interviewer that I'd already worked in this profile. So that really gave me an advantage. Also, there are questions like working of compilers, and so it was pretty, like theory questions in the second technical interview, and then he just switched to all the HR questions. they were pretty basic questions, and almost a lot of time was went through the technical only. So he didn't bother with the HR questions. So there were these two questions that I was asked: the reason to join the company, and being in an electrical branch, why was I inclined towards software? So so after this, about 20 students were selected, and yeah, so 20 students were selected. So I wouldn't talk much about preparation because Rajat almost covered all of it. So but I will still, you know, tell you about what I did. So GFG, as I told you, it comes with complete package. It consists of DSA, DBMS, OOPS, and all the computer subjects. So you need not worry. Right now you're in third sem, so you should focus on theory of the data structure. Try to do all the topic-wise question, and regularly you should also start participating in contest. I know, like some of us said that it's not really important, but you should be you should be you should be able to be comfortable with the environment that you are going to face. So in whenever you'll be giving an online test, then you should be comfortable with the environment, and this is what helps you when you participate in a lot of coding contests. So Codeforces and Codeforces is what I preferred, because it really is, they are really serious about what their questions, and it's really a serious environment and platform. So weekly they have these contests, so you should really try that out. And as I said, try to do at least one standard project, and practiced or yeah, and lead code and interview bits, as Rajat said, that these are two important websites. And what else is there? Try to complete above points. Yeah, obviously. So vacation is not something that you should use to learn new things, new concepts. So you should only use it to develop your speed, and try to complete everything before the vacation, because then you won't be able to, because there are a lot of things, and interaction is very important. You should be able to express yourself. You can even get an interview on the basis of interaction, frankly, I would say. On the basis of your interactive skills, you can even get an intern. That is the power of being expressive and interactive. And don't feel demotivated, though this is not you should be worried about right now. So let's just move ahead. So yeah, this is my mobile number and mail. So I would just tell you one more thing, that half of your job is already done. Why I'm saying this? Because you're in really good college, and you're going to get a lot of on-campus opportunities. Like until now, about 30 companies have visited, which is, according to me, a huge number for intern. Also, yeah, there is this question of CGPA, right? So I would say that maximize your CGPA. The reason why I'm saying this is because there is this company that came. It had a CGPA cutoff of 8.5, and just now it came, and so you can see that I don't have that CGPA, and I couldn't have been I couldn't have applied for it. So more the number of opportunities you have, more are the chances to get an intern. So, and ultimately CGPA is something that that companies would, they will always try to judge you on that. Most of the companies, some of them don't do, but most of them always try to judge you over that at some point of the process. So yeah, that is what I would say. And if you have any questions, you can ask right now. And please feel free to ask. I'll be frank with you. Yeah, sure. I mean, web development is something that okay, I'll just if we don't have any knowledge on web development, can we start now and make a project on it further? Yeah, sure. I mean, you don't need to have a lot of time for that. You know, I just completed web development project, not project, the complete course in about 20 days. So, and you can even do it in like 5 or 10 days. It completely depends on your dedication. It doesn't take much time to complete the course, and it's pretty easy actually. So you should try it out. And a standard project means something that you can write on your resume. Standard, and not just web development. I said you need to explore now that you should come up with something. Don't force it, but try to explore and find something that you can showcase in your resume, and you can talk about it. Yeah, I'm okay. So how much time did you dedicated for DSA in 2-1 every day? So I am not a regular person. So I'm not I waking up at 6 and then exercising. I'm not that kind of person. I try to do things when I feel it. So and neither you should force it, because you should be flexible. You know, try to do things. Try to explore. And okay. So from where did you learn web development? So web development. So it was the course which my friend. It was given by EAN HM Club, which is a club of our college. So they gave me this Udemy course of web development. And there are EA and HM Club. They're also giving this making groups and telling students to be part of it. They have also started this web development course by their own. You should try it out. Yeah. So DSA, right now you can just focus on the semester and try to do topic wise questions. All topics. Is there any other question that you guys want to ask? Okay, so I can not able to cope up with KR classes. So I don't know, like we are triple E students now. We are not CSE students. So try to find something that is you are comfortable with. If you're not able to cope up, then try to find some different source which you are comfortable with. Is there any other question you want to ask?
All right, Pada, we'll move on, I think so.
Okay, so thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Next up is Pratik Kaul. He got an intern at Texas Instruments, one of the hardware companies that visits the college. Parth, can
Yeah.
you shift the presentation rights to me? Pratik has some internet issues.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're
Yeah.
audible.
Fine.
Yeah, are you seeing a screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, you can start with it.
Yeah, no, now it's not visible. It was, now it's not.
It's not?
Yeah.
Is it now?
Yeah, it's not visible.
Okay.
So hey guys, myself Pratik, and I got an intern offer from Texas Instruments. It's one of the leading semiconductor devices company. It mainly designs analog integrated circuits, and in fact, it was the like the integrated circuits were invented in Texas Instruments. So as Prabhat said, it's mainly a hardware company. So it comes for hardware, and this time for the first time, it also came for a software role. Prabhat, can you?
Yeah, I'm
Here's
holding.
the slide, yeah. So for the hardware role, it came for two profiles, digital and analog. The for the digital and analog, both EC and EEE were eligible, but for the embedded software, CSE was also available. The CGPA cutoff was 7, and no active backlog was necessary. Screen is not visible. It's visible for me. Can anybody unmute and say?
Prabhat, there's a text box used. So
Yeah, Prabhat, minimize the
Okay,
attendance.
I got it.
yeah, now fine.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, fine. So it mainly had 2 rounds. The first one was the online test. The online test was, yeah, Prabhat, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so the online test was conducted on HiPro. It was completely proctored, and you could have options in either hardware and software, both, or only hardware. So like only or only software. So each tech round was for 45 minutes and 20 questions. Yeah, so it contained 4 sections: general aptitude, analog profile, digital profile, and embedded system. Embedded system, as I said, it was the first time that the company had come in our college. Yeah, next slide. So yeah, coming to the online test, as I said, for 45 minutes for 20 questions, it's not really easy because the questions are quite difficult. So you need to manage your time very well. Digital was the questions are very application based, not really the type of questions that you will face in your academics, EC and EEE both. Like it's much more application based. Like the difficulty is moderate, but it's very application based. And for all the EEE people, you most probably would need to outsource and not because the curriculum is not enough for it. Yeah. So majority of the questions were based on like flip-flop based questions, counters, K-map minimization. Some Verilog is a hardware descriptive language if you don't know. Some code snippets based on it. Combination logic, digital logic. You will learn it in your 2-2 in digital electronics. So coming to analog, this is the most difficult part of the complete online test. Like you need a lot of practice for it. You need to solve many books and many questions. So majority of it is RC circuits, like switching devices, RC circuits, BJTs, MOSFETs, op-amps. All of this you will learn. Don't worry about it. You know, 2-1 and 2-2. So yeah, it's mostly like it's not. They don't ask questions based on very complex devices. They rather ask questions on very simple like resistors and capacitors, but elevated to a great difficulty. Like the questions are itself hard. You don't need to jam up yourself with really much. It's just kind of a puzzle type question for electronics too. So embedded, it was fine. Like for the first time, so we didn't really know what to expect. The questions were mainly based on assembly language. Some questions,
questions were based on C, like core C principles that are used, operating systems, 8086, it's a microprocessor. Can you mute yourself?
Sorry, yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah. And computer architecture was also asked in that section. Aptitude is pretty standard, like every company has almost the same kind of difficulty. The screen is not visible. Hello? Yeah, it's visible. Yeah, so for aptitude, you can just check India Week. It's like the questions are pretty normal. You can do it directly. Next slide. Yeah, coming to technical interviews, it was held on a platform, WebEx platform, where our lectures are also held. For like the actual round in your interviews can vary. For example, for digital profile, I had only 1 interview, but for analog, I had 2, and there are no HR interviews. All of them were approximately an hour. Next slide. Yeah, coming to my analog experience, like as soon as I joined, I was not asked to introduce myself or anything. I was just asked to tell like what kind of topics had we covered in our curriculum, and then there was a Google Jamboard link which he shared, and he kind of drew circuits, like it was also pre-drawn circuits, and he started with a normal potential divider. Then he added more components to it, and I needed to continuously tell what I was thinking about and what my approach is to the question. Like it's not hard. The questions at this stage will not be hard. Like for analog, the online test is very hard, but for interview, it's quite chill. Like I was not asked any questions on semiconductor devices, transistors, diodes, nothing. Only network theory and circuit analysis. Yeah, so for the second round, I was asked a lot of control system, and for EEE people, this will be a bit hectic because we don't have control system or signal system in our curriculum. So you would need to learn some parts of it, not extremely thorough, but you would need to learn some parts of it. Yeah, next slide. For digital, like I was asked to introduce myself, and then he asked what all I have learned in my curriculum, digital curriculum. Then he asked the basic questions: what are gates? What is meant by digital logic? How to make an AND gate with an OR gate? Like very basic questions. Then, like majority of my interview was based on working of CMOS inverter. He asked me some questions based on it, and then he also asked about what is the structure of a MOSFET transistor, what's its working, what are the regions of CMOS inverters. Yeah, you will learn all of this. Then at the end, he asked me some questions on static timing analysis and flip-flop questions. Yeah, next slide. For preparation for analog, for the network theory part, you have CT1 and CT2 for EEE, and for EC, I think you also have network analysis, right? So that should be enough. And for RC circuits, just screenshot this slide. It will be helpful later. If anyone has any interest. For RC circuits, actually for everything, if you have time, you can refer NPTEL. It's great. NPTEL is great for everything. For digital electronics, yeah, Maurice Mano, I would recommend this. It's a very great book, and it would clear all your concepts. It also has Verilog codes present in it, so it would also cover your Verilog part. CMOS inverters, Jan Rabi is a great book. Screenshot this slide also if you need it. And for Verilog, Samir Patlikar is a good book, or there are some blogs like on ASIC World, VLSI Expert, these kind of websites. Yeah, coming to tips, like the CGPA cutoff was 7, but I would recommend that keep it above 8. It's not that hard. Like you can keep it above 8. And like since you guys are right now in your second year first sem, try to explore all of the different profiles. Like don't be hung up on some kind of profile like software, hardware, core management or something. Try to explore right now. You can you have an ample amount of time to actually prepare for it. Try to explore everything. And if you have decided for hardware profile, for every subject that you prepare, try to maintain your notes. It's going to be very, very helpful. I did not do this, but that's why it was very annoying when I had to revise something. So definitely do it. And if you are passionate about electronics, like you like it, then definitely go outside the curriculum, learn about what VLSI is or what design is. Like it's not needed. They're not going to ask it at any point, but it would simply like you would like it if you actually have interest for it. Coming to projects, like I was not asked anything about my project. At the second interview of analog electronics, I was asked what my project was. Nothing like it was, I think, 30-second talk of what my project was. So it's not that important, but it would be good if you do it. Like it would give you confidence and something to talk about if uh, your interview didn't went well. It would give you an edge. And participate in like competitions and association. Like even EA had many workshops like Arduino workshop or IoT workshop or Verilog workshop. Like participate in these kind of things because you learn a lot in a very short span of time. So definitely do this. It would be great for you. Yeah. So this is my contact number. If you guys need any help, you can contact me. If you have any question, you can share it in the chat.
Yeah, okay, Pratik. Thanks for that.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll move on. Next one is Rohit Chanati. He got an intern at Hardware Profile in Qualcomm company. It is also one of the famous hardware companies we get. Rohit,
Oh, okay. Hi guys, good evening. Actually, I was saying good afternoon, but it became good evening. Hope it doesn't become good night. And myself, Rohit, I am from Triply third year. And let me share screen first. Okay, I know you guys are having classes from morning and again this talk from 5, so you must be tired and bored, right?
Yeah.
So without wasting your valuable time, let's move on to talk. Okay, usually you guys think cracking internship is an uphill task, but trust me, your opinion will change maybe by the end of the session. And coming to the mainstream, Qualcomm is the first hardware company that came this year. It have given eligibility for EC and Triply, who have CG greater than 7. And now coming to the hiring process, it has all these 4 tests. And coming to the first test, yeah, the first test is OT. It is the first and foremost test. It has 60 questions and 90 minutes. And there are 3 independent sections. Each section contains 30 minutes, means consists of 20 questions and 30 minutes. Aptitude is one section, basics of coding is another, and technical round. In technical round, digital electronics, analog electronics, and circuit theory questions were asked. And then coming to the resume shortlisting. After I was selected, I was gone to resume shortlisting. Accurately, we can't predefine any criteria for resume shortlisting. But however, a good resume means which is filled with all projects, CG, that is more preferable. And coming to tips for resume shortlisting, your resume should be on point, straightforward, means only phrases. And you should highlight the important points like which you feel important that interviewer should know about you. Those you have to highlight. And then coming to the technical round, this is the most famous round because many of your peers will come to up to technical interview and they will get eliminated there. So be prepared for this, and 50% will be luck, I think. Yeah, in this always they starts about tell me about yourself and then about projects. And then at a general hardware, you can expect hardware as well as software questions. However, I was asked only software questions. And tips is basically in technical interview, they don't see your answers. They only see your approach. Means, are you on the right track of the solution or not, like that. I didn't even give one complete answer, means one exact answer. Just I have gone through the approach. And that's why I think they selected me. And then next comes the HR interview. This HR interview is a chill round. Means it just check your communication skills and team playing skills. Mostly HR will be a female. So the chefs, which are in you, means the most talented fellows for communicating can be easily cracked. Can I crack this easily? So in HR round, be as frank as possible and don't mention your higher studies. And next comes references. These are the textbooks. You can take screenshot or PDF will be shared later. And then comes general suggestions. Circuit theory, analog and digital electronics and data structures are almost required for every hardware job. Even for core job also you need these subjects. And also try to learn new skills like IoT, Verilog, machine learning, and do projects in them. This is one of the main things that make you different from others. And then try to build your resume by joining in events like this and participating in clubs. And coming to the CG, maintaining greater than 7 is fine, but more than 8 is more preferable, means it is the best one. And next comes every general quotation for conclusion: be united and be unique. And sorry if it doesn't make any sense also. And then thank you for sparing your valuable time. And contact, this is my number. Not only girls, boys can also message me and call me. There is no gender bias. If you have any doubts, you can keep in chat box or else unmute and speak. Yeah, no doubts, right? Okay, Prabhat, shall we conclude?
Yeah, I think we can conclude here. There are no doubts in your personal DM, right?
Okay, yeah, checking. Okay, yeah, just some fan messages. Yeah, nothing.
Okay, guys. Thank you for staying till the last. I think it was very helpful. Actually, second year is where you'll be facing a lot of dilemma and all, where you'll be faced or forced to choose a career path after your BTech placements internships. So make sure you choose your path. Make sure you get inspired from your seniors. All the talks, attend all the talks, attend all the workshops. It will be helpful in the end. Yeah, I think so. I think this will be the conclusion we'll be giving from our department association. Okay, then we'll take a leave for now. Yeah, also we'll be sharing all the PPTs and recording of this meet in the in our YouTube channel. If you want to record, I mean, if you want to see it again, you can. Okay, then I'm gonna close the meet.